All right, so we're doing a little Q&A session today. Very exciting.
Woohoo.
And I'm just going to ask you guys a few questions about the business, Alphabet Art Photos, you guys,
Sounds good.
business owners,
Okay.
the story, etc. Maybe just introduce yourselves.
This is Rich Bolter.
Okay.
And I'm Johnette Bolter.
We are the Bolters.
We are
Bolters.
the Bolters.
Nice.
We've
have-
been married for almost 20 years.
Yes, 20
And
years.
Bella, she's
She's
old.
baby Bolter.
baby. Yeah.
Aw,
Yeah.
She's
She's there.
just right here.
tucked away
Mm-hmm.
Like
Tucked
she
away.
usually
on her
is.
best behavior.
As close as she can be.
Yeah. Always following you.
And what else? So, yeah, we're...
That's us. She asked what our names are.
You
Introduce
probably
us.
That's
know us as Alphabet Art Photos.
Yeah.
Right.
About our photos.
Okay, so I think this leads into the first question pretty well. Where did you guys first start selling your art, and how did you progress to Etsy?
Shows.
Good question.
Yeah, very good question.
Shows, yeah, it started with shows.
Yeah, we did art shows, like street shows. Gosh, a long time ago. And yeah, it was.
But that was selling the jewellery, yeah?
Yeah, that was selling jewelry to start with, and yeah, progressed into the alphabets, and yeah, started at shows, art festivals,
Mm-hmm.
a lot for probably about a year or two.
During those shows?
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, I think it was longer, wasn't it?
Well, maybe every once in a while we did it, but it kind of, since we did then start Etsy, right? So
Yeah.
that got busy
Yeah,
for us,
yeah,
and then we
yeah.
couldn't do the shows. So
Yeah, that's true.
and also
Gosh,
the
it's okay.
also malls. We went to a few malls for the holidays
Mhm.
and sold jewelry, and then also the alphabets. We started with that too,
Yes.
Yeah.
But we started with the jewellery first for a while, selling.
like a long while.
selling
Oh yeah, yes. The
selling our
jewelry was probably like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at shows.
You guys were just bouncing all around,
Bouncing around.
Yeah.
popping up here, popping up there.
We would go down
on the
to
hustle.
Florida.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
We went to
yes.
Florida a lot. We had a van, one of those econo, whatever they're called, vans, and
Mm.
loaded everything in the back of that. And sometimes we slept in the car,
Yeah.
in the van.
Yeah, yeah. Pulled
Um,
over, slept in that. So
We
we used
got
to
tired driving.
hoof it to Florida. We went up north a lot.
Yeah, New York,
Mm-hmm. All around.
Ohio, Tennessee, Virginia. Where else? New Jersey once.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia a lot.
Mm.
South Carolina some. A lot in Florida.
And that, because we were moving about, that we were also able to take photos
Yes.
when we got into the alphabet photography.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when we were able to take photos just on our travels, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we found a lot of letters that way.
Yeah.
Various different
definitely.
kinds, different places, styles, I
Yeah.
imagine.
In the
Mhm.
cities, and then of course in the like parks that we were into. That
Yes,
was quite fun. Walking
yes,
around, spotting
exactly.
the letters.
So if you look at the letters, some of the more nature side ones, there's some tropical looking
Yeah,
ones from
lots of-
Florida.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
in Georgia.
And Georgia. Yeah.
And how are you spotting these alphabet letters?
Well, that's the trick, isn't it?
I think that's the trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spotting.
It seems difficult when you think about it, but I think maybe people like creatives have sort of a knack. I don't know. I can just
You got
see
the
it.
eye, like people say the photographers, you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
that eye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we did. Even from the beginning, we were like, "Ooh, this is a good." I mean, we took some bad ones too, though.
Took some very bad ones. The
yeah, we
originals.
definitely got rid of those. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Which
there's
was good.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think it didn't take us too long to have a pretty decent set
Mm.
of,
A
choices.
library. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what we did first, was go looking for the full alphabet.
Just
A,
one of
A
each.
through Z, yeah.
How
See if
long
we
did
can
that
find 'em.
take, do you think? Do you
Yeah.
remember?
For like all the way A through Z,
Took a while, right?
probably a good few months.
Yeah.
I'd say. I remember being, we were down in the Louisville area in North Carolina, and we would go over to Salem College and walk around. Got a lot from Salem
Mhm.
College.
We did.
And Old Salem, the Moravian Old Salem, and tons of really cool architecture there, and like old, what are they called? Barrels.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of
Mm.
Oh,
barrels.
yeah.
Just
Very
great,
rustic.
like very rustic.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I think we got a whole lot of letters there, and then several of the shows that we did in South Florida.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
So it took a little while to
Mhm.
get the full alphabet, and then once we had one of each, then we would add to them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Options.
editing also.
Yeah,
That's
It's a big part.
it is.
That was
It is a big part of it.
Hidden big part.
Yeah.
Yes,
I remember
yes.
several times you would be at a show and I would just stay home. You go to the show and I would just be editing.
Home editing.
Checking them out, seeing if it would work,
Mhm.
you know, doing this and that to it.
Right, because that's the thing. You think, ooh, this is going to be a great looking letter, and you look at it and you think, and you frame it in your camera and your viewfinder, and you're like, this is perfect, going to be perfect. Take the shot, and we used to say, oh, let's get that back to the lab, kind of thing. Get it back to the lab,
Literally
wait
like
and
our
see,
bedroom.
yeah, see what it looks like, and we
Yeah.
get it there. But then once you pull it up in Photoshop, you're like, ugh,
This is not good.
didn't work out.
Either didn't work out or
Mhm.
how can I make it so it's actually going
Mhm.
to look like highs and lows and
Mm.
using the scorch tool, I think it's called, and, you know, making some bits darker and
Yeah.
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 But I mean, most of them turned out pretty good, so
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm.
it was fun.
What was the final letter? Do you remember? Was it like a pain to find it?
Q.
Oh, like which are the most difficult?
Yeah, like you had gone
Yeah.
all the way through except just the
Right,
last
one
one you
left.
could not find it.
I would
Q.
say Q.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely Q.
Yeah,
I can see
weirdly,
that.
Yeah.
you'd think it would be the S, but we found a really good S, like
Mm.
very that I still love.
Which one? The
The Shrek S.
Shrek S.
Yeah.
The Shrek S. I
Mhm.
do like the Shrek S.
I know,
It's
I love
very
it.
cool. Like, but it does look like Shrek.
Shrek.
It-
But that's the thing. We would name the
We would
letter
name
it,
as
yeah.
well. Like
Mhm.
and that one was a Shrek S because what looks like Shrek.
Yeah, just I
It's
don't
like
know.
it's the logo
Yeah.
for Shrek, the
Yeah,
capital
yeah.
S.
The
It
S.
looks like
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
like
Mhm.
that. for
But
sure.
and you think that S would be, R is difficult. R is really difficult.
Oh,
Still is.
anything with a curve, right?
Yeah.
Mostly.
But the
Mhm.
Q, that's definitely not a naturally occurring
No.
shape.
Mm-mm.
It's like a circle and a
Mhm.
dash, or like
Yeah.
a cursive one with the swirl.
Yeah.
Hard to
Something we
find.
spot.
No, we
Right.
found one Q. It was, what do you call those? Sundials.
Yes, we
You know?
used a sundial for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we finally found another one at the same spot, of course, Old Salem.
Yep.
And it was an old something that people used to attach their horses to. And like, wasn't it like that? Like
Makes
they
sense.
they put a rope through it, and then
Mhm.
it was just iron, but it was like
Mm.
the absolute perfect shape. And we were like, yes,
Yeah,
this
it is
gonna be great.
nice
Let's get
when
it
you,
back to
you
the
get
lab.
one. Yeah, get it back to
Mm.
them.
Yeah.
When you fill them.
Do you remember your first sale on Etsy?
I know you will.
Yeah, I do. Because, yeah, people have told us about Etsy to perhaps get our stuff on Etsy, and we were in the middle of having a website built. And you know how it goes with websites. They take a little longer than,
And they're always more expensive than you think.
yeah, like double the time, double the price.
Mhm,
So
definitely.
we thought, well, hang on, we've got everything going here.
Mm.
Someone had mentioned Etsy, so we thought, well, let's just go ahead and get our stuff on Etsy.
Yeah,
And
we
why
already had
not?
letters.
We had everything set while we were waiting for the website, and the website turned out a little bit longer than we hoped. And so we threw everything on Etsy,
Mm-hmm.
and within a week,
Yeah.
if that, few
Not even.
days.
Yeah, a few days, definitely.
Yeah, we sold. This was 2011.
Mm.
Yeah.
So Etsy had started in 2005. So we were kind of early adopters to that, I guess.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, I think it was within a week we sold something, and it was it spelled out home.
Was it home?
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
8 by 10.
8 by 10s.
Nice, because it was
sepia.
on canvas. Yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
We loved the sepia tone.
Mhm.
Just when we started.
Yeah.
Now-
Yeah,
now
I
love
think
the
that
color,
was pretty popular
At the time.
at the time. It still is, but
Yeah.
especially with those rustic letters, it's that very
Uh-huh.
cohesive
So
rustic
good.
look.
Yes.
but- Yeah.
Looks
Yeah.
good.
And then did it stay consistent right away from the beginning?
Surprisingly, yes. It
Wow.
was, yeah. There wasn't so much stuff on Etsy then.
Right.
You know?
No, it wasn't.
Not like it
the,
is
The
now.
pie was a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, and I think everyone,
A big-
not everyone knew about it either. It's like you had a
Mm.
select people that went on there looking for handmade,
Yeah, definitely.
and
Early
yeah,
days.
we popped off pretty quick, right?
We did.
Within, I don't know,
A month.
a month, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were getting
Definitely a few sales a week.
a
Mm.
few
Just-
sales a week.
Just started picking up and picking up
Mhm.
month to month.
Mhm.
Not on the canvas as much, because then we switched, didn't we, to
We did.
prints,
Yes.
and then
yes.
made it really personalized, and that was a big deal on it.
Personalization
Still is.
Right.
key, yeah.
Mhm.
Because
It was like the
yeah,
first place to do it, really.
It was.
On that
Probably, yeah.
scale and in that way.
that kind of gift for sure.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
it was
were.
so much fun.
The canvases were just, individual letters, and we
Mhm.
used to make the frames ourselves.
Yeah,
Um, such a pain, but it took forever, didn't it?
yeah.
Chopping the wood for that, building the frame,
Mhm.
and then each piece was made to order as it would come in.
And that was before you could just print straight onto canvas and have a giclée, and you had to use like canvas that you paint on, and use some paint. I can't remember what it was, but paint over the top of it so it wouldn't fade. And we had to do that on every single canvas
That's right.
out back
Yeah.
in our townhouse we lived in.
Yeah. So yeah,
That was
that
pretty crazy.
it was surprising how quickly it took off. Like,
It really was, yeah.
So would you say shortly after, within a year or a couple years, when did you realize like, oh, this could be a proper business?
Oh, it wasn't very long.
It wasn't long,
No,
was it?
maybe 2 or 3 months,
Yeah.
because we got busy. I mean, we couldn't do, like, we had to kind of scale back on the shows,
Mm-hmm.
and then basically stop the shows. I mean, well, we took the letters to shows,
Mm-hmm.
and then when we got home, we'd have to make everything because we did, made to order at the shows.
That's
and so
right.
when we got back from the shows, I had to make it all.
Yep, that would take a week.
And then and then we were still getting sales through Etsy. So I guess once that really, probably 2 or 3 months, maybe 4 months in, we were just like, okay, I'm gonna stop signing us up for shows because we're busy.
Yeah. Although we were doing so well at shows too.
We were doing well at shows.
Well, the shows were hit and miss. Sometimes you could go to a show
Yeah.
and it'd be crazy what how much you could sell.
Yeah.
Other times,
It was nothing.
we lost money.
Mm-hmm.
But it was an experience.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
mean, we traveled.
It was
For
fun.
sure.
Yeah.
You don't know until you try.
Exactly. Yeah.
For sure.
It's very true.
How would you say your process, and also I guess workspace, because that goes into the process changes, workspace needs to change, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
How has that shifted and changed over the years
Mhm.
since, brand new baby business to where you guys are now?
Yeah.
What,
yeah.
15 years
Well,
later?
for the letters, it's about 11, 12 years, right? Or 13 years. And for the actual, like, going to shows and selling jewelry, and that was because it's so small, like pieces of jewelry, it didn't, you don't need a lot of space for that. But once, Etsy started really working for us, we had to think about, space. And we moved, we were in a townhouse when we first started, and there was just everything was just packed, boxes of frames and paper and our printer and both computers in one bedroom, and there wasn't a lot of storage. So then we moved in with my grandma, and she had a lot of space at that point, but it just kept growing, and so we were like,
we used her basement.
We used her basement, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we moved to Mars Hill into a house, an actual house, a cabin actually.
Mm-hmm.
And the downstairs basement was pretty big.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Huge space.
Great spot, like super, light coming in, light filled, and
I felt like the proper first workspace.
it really did, yeah. And we had both of our computers set up down there. We'd go down and just basically work all day, every single day.
Yeah.
Sunrise, sunset.
And it was separated from the living space, so it was like, we were going to work rather than everything has taken over our living space, hadn't it? We'd have
around here.
do you remember the dinner table?
At
Was
the
just
townhouse?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just had canvases that had not yet been put on frames, but
Just stacked up.
we had to roll this sealer on them, and then
That was stinky.
for them to it was stinky for them to dry, we'd have to like put them out, and then they were on the dining table, they were on top sides of sofas, on the backs and
Everywhere.
side
We had to get-
every surface.
We had to get my family to come in and help us do the corners and wrap the canvases on the frames. That was at the townhouse. And then we moved in with my grandma. We weren't doing canvases very much. We still did a few, but it was more the prints. Definitely.
That was a good
framed
switch.
Prints, yeah.
That was a good switch, and
also
with the personalization.
Yeah. It also takes up a lot more space because you need boxes and packing material and all that. So
Right, because you guys do everything start to
absolutely,
finish.
start to finish.
Yeah.
So
And
you
we don't make the frames. They're made
Right.
in the U.S.
The frames that we use now for the prints, yeah.
Yeah. Right. The canvases we do. Well,
Yeah.
actually, we get them also made in the U.S. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then we moved to the cabin for a little over a year, and then we decided we wanted to buy a house. So Etsy allowed us to do that. It was doing well.
Afforded us to finally
to purchase a home, our first
Yep,
home.
first home.
Amazing.
Yes,
I mean, how good's that?
It's
crazy.
great. Yeah.
It's
right.
crazy.
Like, let's just put this on Etsy and see what happens.
See what happens.
To having a proper
Mhm.
business that then could afford
Yeah.
us to buy a home is
And the
amazing.
pivot
Yeah.
from the jewelry to then doing this random seemingly thing,
Yeah.
and that's the thing that takes off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
You never know.
You never know. You got to try it.
Mm-hmm.
But then so we went to the house that we purchased, and it also had a great basement, as you know.
I've seen it.
Yes,
Mhm.
and worked out of there for a good few years, probably 7 or 8 years at that home.
We did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we pivoted to an office close by.
We did have an office, absolutely.
Yeah.
It just we kind of wanted our house, you know what I mean?
House back.
Yeah, because it was growing, and so we had an office space that was 1,000 square feet. We still needed more space.
Yeah, that took us to about 2015 when we were in there. 2015, 2016.
When did you start?
I started 2019, wasn't it? Maybe
19.
very
Yeah,
end 18.
Because you remember 2015 and 16 is when we had
the office.
Rob and Margie
yes, Rob and Margie
helping
us.
us over at that
Yeah.
office.
And like I said, it was packed.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably about 1,000 square feet too, I think.
Yeah,
And
and that
upstairs.
I enjoyed that one because it was separate.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that far of a drive.
Yes.
You could head over there, check in with the guys,
Yeah.
see how they're getting on.
That's true.
Yeah,
that was good.
it was good.
It was about 10 minutes from the house.
Yeah.
So it was convenient.
Yeah, and that's when I think the business, we felt at that point the business was just going to keep going, keep going.
I mean, you bought a house.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Like,
this is booming.
What
I can
could
do
stop?
anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's business. Business
Yeah.
doesn't work that way.
No. So it kind of, went this way for a little while. Not down really, but just sort of sideways.
Plateau.
Yeah.
You hit a plateau.
Yeah. And then it started growing again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Moved back into
We
the house.
brought it back into the
because
house.
of the plateau
in
part.
the basement, yeah.
Yeah. And then
And Rob and Margie, they wanted to do
something
other
else.
things.
Yeah.
Rob had a child. He wanted to
Be at
stay at home.
That's right. But then, so then it was just you and me again, working our butts off. Both computers in one of the rooms upstairs, and downstairs was the workspace. You did all the framing, boxing, printing. I actually helped you print, I think.
Yeah.
At that time.
Yeah. We've kind of worn different hats. And,
Definitely. But then, so 2019, as you know, we got a wonderful employee. Yes.
What I am curious about this as the said employee. Obviously, you needed the physical and you need the help for time and all the other reasons. But what was were you considering a proper hire of a basically stranger for a while and then just decided to pull the trigger? Or was it was there a moment where you realized, okay, we need someone in?
Right, because previously we'd more or less hired people that we
knew.
Yeah,
People that
friends
we
of
already know.
friends, that kind of thing.
I think we were at a point where we thought we want new eyes. We want new creativity to come in and help and grow the business. Because we knew that with you and me doing it, just us two,
it was gonna,
that we were working.
Too
What is
much.
it? Working in the business? No, we were working on the business.
In the business, not on the business.
In the business.
Yeah,
not on the
we were
business.
definitely in it.
We were day and night.
Yeah, we were definitely in the business, and we couldn't further the business.
Just because too busy.
At that point,
Which is great.
you'd figured let's get on Indeed.
I did both Indeed and the other one.
Yeah, and go looking for some help.
And I spotted you. Definitely, we needed the help, but we also wanted new eyeballs, new ideas.
New perspective. And I think you know, you get to a point where you're like, we've taken this to our level where we can go, and it wasn't furthering anymore. And we'd ask friends of friends, and that worked out well.
Yeah.
But just to get someone who was outside of everything, that was...
Yeah, it was needed.
Sounds like you guys were just so busy, like you said, luckily, working in it, and you wanted to work on it, but you had no time to work on it. And then also a clash of like you guys said, you took it up to where you felt you kind of exhausted.
Yes.
Where your minds could take it at that time.
Yes.
Like we need something fresh.
Yes. Yeah. Another thing with hiring people is you know, getting the right person, obviously, but you're opening up your house when you live and work, in the same space. You're bringing outsiders, if you like, into your home. So you've got to have, there's a trust.
Yes.
Trust thing.
On both sides.
Trust on both sides.
Yeah. And then also the back end of the business stuff, trusting someone with that as well. I mean, I had all the passwords, all the logins.
Yes.
Like you need it to do the job. You know. I mean,
it wasn't an easy decision because
no.
we did mull on that for a long time, probably too long.
Probably too long.
Well, I would say,
but we did it at the right time because we found something.
At the right time.
That's right. Like
I would say if any small business is considering hiring and they are worried, about making that leap, I would say just you got to go ahead and do it.
Do it.
Do it. Definitely. You
I
won't
mean, obviously,
interview
and vet and
do you
snoop and all that good stuff. But
check out their Facebook.
Snooping.
Yeah.
That's like what I said when we were in the process of hiring our fourth person, foreshadowing there. Is that the worst that can happen is just you have to fire them.
Yeah, let them go.
It's like with the relationships as well. That's always my advice. I'm like, just do it.
Yeah.
The worst that's going to happen is you break up or they murder you.
Right. Well, now that you've mentioned it,
Well, I did think you guys could potentially murder me, but we can get into that
Even
one.
to the house.
Oh yeah, your interview day.
Yes.
I was also nervous to come into a stranger's home and
here and what is going on
in their basement with their small business.
Two randos.
Any advice for people starting out?
Just do it.
Do it.
Take the leap.
Yeah.
Take the leap. I know it's difficult when you're weighing a lot of things up.
Yeah.
And for people that have a job already, they've got a 9-to-5er. We were lucky, I guess, because we'd had the small business experience doing the jewellery. But if someone, is thinking about getting on Etsy and they have a 9-to-5er, and probably the most sensible thing to do is see if your side hustle, can do something and help a little bit. But then at some point, you've got to weigh it up.
Yeah.
And think, right, am I going to leave the safety of my main gig and step over to make this my full-time thing? It's definitely
that's
consideration.
That's difficult, too. We didn't have that, because we were
just
already
in it.
a small business. Yeah, that's a good point.
We've heard a little bit about this, but what is it like being a married couple while also being business partners, quite literally living and working together in the same space and for so long? How do you balance that? How do you assign roles there?
You go.
We just get along so dang well. Right. We always have. We knew it from the beginning. We met online. We were like, yes, let's get married. That was a long story, very short.
That's it.
But yeah, so I don't know. It's just easy. Like, we know what to do. You know what to do. I know what to do, and we just basically get on with it. It's fine. Yeah. It's fine being in the same space together.
A lot of our friends have said, though, how do you do that? How do you do that?
They don't want to hang out with their partners 24/7.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the reason why it's a question, is because everyone's like, how do you do that? I could never. But also, it is a thing. I feel it is a piece of advice that people receive is don't get in business with your significant other or your friend. They always say, it will always cause problems and things. But I just think, like we've mentioned before, if you go into a relationship already having a very solid communication, then that would just transfer over
to
business wise,
what
and if
you're
you're both
doing
on the
it.
same team, you have the same goal.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it
That's
work?
true. To have the same goal, I think that helped us, right? Is
Yeah.
because you're married, so we're heading in the same direction of we're trying to create this life,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's well, you do whatever you feel needs doing to achieve that goal.
Yeah. We talk about it though all the time. We're like, okay, what do we need to do now? What's we make lists like crazy, you know.
You like the lists.
What's the next thing on the list? What do we need to do? How do we, you know, the next part to move forward?
Yeah, always trying to move forward, I think, and that's the goal.
I think it's our personalities too, honestly. Our personalities together, like we mesh, and so it's easy to be able to talk about what needs to be done, you know, and assigning things, and you know.
Yeah, that helps. You have to get on.
You have to get along.
You got to get on.
That's the advice.
Yeah. You got to get on.
If you don't, then
you
that's
can't.
probably not going to work.
You can't work together. So you got to get on. And I think as roles go, I think we just I don't know. They just sort of naturally.
We did what we were good at.
Yeah, I mean, neither of us.
I mean, we shared it around. We did.
Yeah.
We still share it around, but
neither of us are good with numbers, so
I got
bookkeeping.
stuck with that.
Yeah, you got stuck with that one,
It's
didn't
okay.
you? You kind of took it.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
You pay the bills.
There you go. It sounds like an even split of numbers
There
to
you
me.
go.
Yeah, it's true.
And you do a lot of the stock keeping and the ordering.
That's true.
That overwhelms me. So
That overwhelms me.
I think you just learn. You do learn a lot. There was things, you know. Obviously, we didn't have any knowledge of a lot of the things, and you kind of just learn as you go with small business.
You do.
You're wearing a lot of hats and
Do a lot of research.
Do a lot of research, a lot of Googling, a lot of YouTubes, and you just then you go for it.
Yeah.
And I think taking the step and going for it is
Jumping in. Just doing it together.
great. Well, I think now we're going to do some rapid fire questions.
Rapid fire.
Fun. I'm a little
How's
nervous.
this gonna work?
Whoever comes up with the answer first, I guess, in your brain, say
Okay.
it.
Whoa.
But I would like to hear an answer from both of you
Okay.
for both for all
Got
these
it.
All right.
questions. You know. Okay. Who is more organized?
Me.
Yes, JB is definitely more organised. You have a more
I mean, I make the
orderly-
lists.
Yeah, you do the lists.
Okay.
That's an easy one.
Who is more likely to hit the snooze button?
Well, that's you too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
2 for 2.
definitely. Yeah.
What about
definitely.
before?
Not so much. We're more even before.
Yeah.
But I've gotten older, so I really like to sleep.
Yeah.
I mean,
Snooze.
Who doesn't?
I also love to sleep. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee. I am
It's
English.
controversial.
Yes, I am English. Yes, I am English. But I used to hate coffee. But love coffee now. If I had a choice in the morning, it's coffee. Tea's got its place, but
Yeah.
What is your go-to comfort food or meal?
Gosh.
Well,
Rocky's Hot Chicken Shack.
that's a good one.
Probably.
Comfort.
Sushi. I don't know.
Fish and chips.
Oh, fish and chips down at Thirsty Muck.
Fish and chips for
It might
sure.
be. It might be fish and chips. I don't know. Tide. Rockies and fish and chips.
Just something fried and
Yeah, exactly.
yummy.
Although you're
Biscuit
doing
head.
biscuit head, you're doing chicken dumplings
Making
tonight.
chicken and dumplings tonight. Another chicken dish.
See, that's so good.
Maybe just chicken.
Especially cold now. It's getting colder.
Exactly.
Okay. What is the best vacation you guys took together?
Good question. I hope we've got the same
Thailand.
answer.
Thailand.
Ah, good one. I wasn't thinking that. but yeah.
When you asked me to marry you.
Oh, that's a vacation.
Well, it was.
I
a
mean, you
working
were in
vacation.
Thailand. That sounds like a vacation to me.
Yeah, it was a work vacation.
Okay.
And then also St. Augustine. Shark's Teeth hunting.
All of them.
All right. All of the vacations. Yeah.
What was yours going
Well,
to
the
be?
ones that jumped out for me were the out west.
Oh, out west in Hawaii.
Yeah, and the Kauai one we did.
Oh yeah.
I think that
Gosh, I don't know. Honestly, not
so
sure.
there's tons. I think.
Yeah. We've been lucky with that.
We're very
actually.
lucky.
Okay. What is one word to describe the other as a business owner?
Motivated.
Dang. All right.
Motivated.
I was going to go organised, but I think I don't think any one word can say it. You know. Yeah, there's not just one word. There's many, but organised is good. but what's
Driven.
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 Yes, thank you for putting that. That's what I was going for.
Wait, for you?
No.
Oh,
for,
okay.
Yeah, no. For
Because she
I'm
said
like, I
motivated.
answered.
yeah,
So motivated and driven. I mean,
Motivated,
yeah,
driven. Yeah.
there you go.
yeah. I would say you've got to be driven. Both of us are driven.
Yeah.
What is one thing on your bucket list?
Gosh.
Bucket list. I don't know. I didn't even.
Maybe
thought
it can
about
be
bucket list.
business
Business
bucket
bucket?
list.
Okay. You go. Have you got one?
Yes.
Go on then.
For me or for him? We
For
answer?
you.
Well,
Okay.
for you.
Um,
Business bucket.
get an office space.
Huh.
Mm.
It's a good one.
Like buy one. Like actually own an office
A
space.
permanent
Yeah.
That's
office
great.
space.
Mm.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
office space with. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
Different
I mean, we wouldn't need this
offices.
house
and-
too, so we could downsize that.
A
which would be
loading
wonderful.
zone, a loading dock.
Dang,
I don't know. Well,
right,
yeah, that's serious
no,
bucket
That's
list there.
serious bucket. I like that one.
What's yours?
Similar, yeah, just growth, and I mean, always like 10 employees would be.
Wow.
That's a good
You
one.
know.
Jeff Bezos over here.
Yeah, like 10 employees, and then I always wanted like an office with like lots of brick.
I know you really want that.
I really
We love a
wanted that.
loft.
Cool.
Yeah, the loft
Industrial,
look.
like
Yeah,
straight
That-
loft.
that
that's
is
open. And
Open concept,
yes.
but no cubicles.
No
Right.
cubicles. Everyone can bounce ideas
I know
off
that
each
you have
other.
really talked about that a long
Oh.
time. We better get on that, babe.
Let's get on that.
Get on it. And then ending on a fun, silly one. What is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Pistachio.
I knew it was going to be that. I think that's mine too.
Pistachio. I like that. Rum and raisin.
Which is not one we have here.
I used to
I was about
love.
to say it's sounding very
Mm,
British.
I used to love rum and raisin in England. Here, I like the. What's that one? Pecan and something.
Oh, someone Suzanne likes.
Like a turtle.
Butter pecan.
Butter pecan.
Butter
Butter
pecan.
pecan.
Yeah,
I do like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yum. Need to get some
hungry.
ice cream now.
Mhm.
All right, well, I think that's it. That wraps
Nice.
up the Q&A.
It's a wrap.
Excellent.
That
Thank
was
you.
great. I think I
Yeah.
learned so much about the business that I didn't know.
That you didn't know already.
I think I learned stuff about you.
What?
I think I learned some stuff about you.
No way.
Good stuff, of course.
Okay.
See, always learning
Always
Always
learning.
learning.
about each other.
That is it.
That's
Yeah.
how you make it work.
Always learn.
And listen.
Listen.
Good advice.
Mhm.
That is it.
Just stop and listen.
That's it.
That's great.
That is the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're
Brilliant.
listening right now. Thanks
Yeah.
for listening.
Nice
Thanks for listening.
tie-in.
Mwah.
That was good.
Awesome.
That was
Yeah.
great.